There we go.
Alrighty, so thank you, DDS, for being here with us today. Creative
I
Wisdom,
know.
and you are my first guest, and I'm so honored to have you. And I don't think it was a better option. So
I
thank you
appreciate
for
you
being
asking me.
for sure, for sure. So, how's your day been going so far?
Crazy with the virtual school stuff and then trying to shoot videos for the machine plus all that stuff. But I'm making it happen.
Man, you do it. You make it look
Yourself?
easy. You make it look. Oh, congrats on your son's new book. That's pretty dope.
Thank
So
you, thank you, thank
you
you.
out here working hard too. That's so dope.
Yep.
Okay, so first of all, I just want to tell you. So we're going to just be talking about your artistry, about your music that you make on your own, some music
Right.
that you contribute to other artists, and also your YouTube channel. We want to know about that, and just technology. And I know you're a big tech guy, so I thought it'd only be right to ask you about how does like shaped your life and your music and your sound and your just everyday process of just engaging virtually with people, and all that. So I'll just get into it.
Hmm.
Okay, so first off, you have 3 albums and you have 1 EP. So I kind of just wanted to talk to you about that. Just like what's the process like for you creating an album? Because they're all so different. You have the Thankful, which is the most recent one. And then you have the Nightmares
Hmm.
2, which is like more so like I feel like a soundscape of like your sound and just
Right.
I can hear it on like a soundtrack, and it just have
Hmm.
it's not spooky and scary, but it is, but it's still like ambient and relaxing. You have Date Night, which was 2018. That was like more so R&B-ish, but still very hip hop. Like it's
Hmm.
very upbeat, but I could still hear somebody talking about like unrequited love or just having fun at a carnival with their whatever they want. And then
Yeah.
the Never Looking Back was your first one, 2014, and I feel like that one was
Yep.
like you. That one was you showing the world, like, okay, this is who I am. Like this is what I'm on right now, and like just get
Hmm.
a glimpse of me. So I just want to talk about just your album and each of them and how they differ from each other, and just what was your inspiration behind some of them and things like that.
What's funny is, excuse me, excuse me, my voice was sounding crazy. The funny thing about that was when you mentioned like 3 albums and 1 EP, I was like, I had that many projects out. It
Oh,
seemed like I don't even have that
out
many out
there.
there. But yeah, the Never Looking Back, I don't even know why I put that out. I was just doing it just to do it. Really, it was right before Try Me took off, like literally. I put the song out, and maybe if not the song, I put the project out, and then maybe a week or two later, Try Me just took off. Like Dave said, put it on her SoundCloud, so that kind of slowed down the thing me doing those projects. But it was like nobody was really using my beats outside of her, so I was just let me put something together to put it out there so people can listen to it. Had people like my family and stuff support and buy it. People still listen to it to this day, which is strange sometimes, but it makes me want to do more. That one was pretty much me saying I was at a point where a lot of people were telling me like you should go because I was laid off. I'm sure you heard the story plenty of times with that stuff, but I got laid off and people were like, oh, you need to go get a real job and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna try and focus on this and I'm never looking back. So that's why I did that. And actually, some of the songs that Dave ended up using were supposed to be on there, but I held them off of there because I was like, oh, shoot, she might do something with this. She might do something with this. Like, We Be On It was one of them that was supposed to go on that project.
So dope.
The next one, the next one was what Date Night, and that was just something I wanted to do. I think I put that out around Valentine's Day, and I did that just because I wanted to try out DistroKid and put a project out because I knew people were making money off of streaming their music, and I was looking for a different income stream. So I was like, let me try this just to see what happens. I put it out there, then I took a break all the way till 2019, which was the Nightmares 2, and that was a play on the Nightmares 1 I did. I don't even know if you can find it anymore. I should look, but it was on
'Cause I was wondering, like,
that
Nightmares 2,
Piff.
I don't see a Nightmares 1.
I'm about to pull it. I'm about to see if I can pull it up on that Piff right now because I used to do
Okay.
that stuff all the time when I was um younger. Like I was in college at that point. I'm just curious to see if I can pull it up on that Piff, and if it shows up, that's gonna be cool. But to keep talking, that was more so I love October because I love, the whole horror idea. Like I love this, I don't know, I say idea, the genre of horror. I like horror films. I like the carved pumpkins. I like all of that stuff. It's just something about this time of year. The leaves changing colors. You can wear hoodies. It's just I love this time of year. So every time at this point, I think about doing stuff like that. And usually around this time of year, October, I just watch horror movies all month long. So that was something to go along with that. So Nightmares 2, like you said, it was kind of like the soundtrack type stuff. That's what I was leaning towards with that. And then for Thankful, I just wanted to put something out for Thanksgiving, and I was trying to challenge myself to put more stuff out, like frequently on the streaming services.
Okay. So like it's business and creative type move.
Mainly creative, because I don't even make no money off of that stuff. The streamers like that, I ain't getting them type of numbers yet.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
here go the first one right here. I just pulled it up on that too.
Oh, that's dope. Is that a picture of you?
Yeah, I used to mess around in Photoshop, so I like messing my face up and stuff.
See, that's what I want.
It had 9 songs on there.
9. Yeah, I gotta hear that one too. Because the Nightmares too, like it didn't have no drums on there. So when I was listening, I was like, this is cool. And then like I know on your channel, like you have like such a large library of like sounds you can like choose from. But it's like it's never what they advertise it as. Like you do something totally different with it. And I just thought it was cool just to see, like, just to get a consistent, like, okay, this is some things that you can do with this. It's not just, I mean, you can make what they tell you to, but like, this is how I use it. And like, you know, this is
like,
what
I mean, how people be like, oh, they don't make this isn't for hip hop. And then it's like, well, actually, if you go through this, you actually could tweak it and then make it work for you. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I like your review videos, because like, I don't even know to get certain stuff, because I'm like, that ain't for me. But then it's like, oh, he using this. Like, I go live, like, oh, let me try to see what I can do with it. Like, you know, it just shows you like how vast your options is. Like, you can do what you want to do with things, and you know, make it your own. I'm sure that's what the creators of the products do. It's not like they just making it specifically for this. Like anybody,
right?
You know. So I just learned more about sound and stuff, definitely from your channel and things like that. So I want to talk about the Thankful. Yeah, you're welcome. I want to talk about the Thankful one that you in 2019, because like when you listen to it, it makes you feel thankful. It's like very triumphant. I feel like it's like it's like a black suit type thing. Like it's very classy too. Like it's very like smooth. Just like I'm celebrating it, and then like all of the titles on there is just. You could tell you're so grateful for whatever you were grateful for, even if it's Thanksgiving, and being with your family or just having time off or whatever like that. So, so when you're creating like these albums and like in this Thankful album, did you really like specifically choose sounds or samples and loops or whatever that made you feel thankful? Did you actively think like, let me sit out and brainstorm how I feel, like what I'm thankful about, like, or did it just happen? I don't know. That makes sense.
No, that's exactly what I did. Whenever I have ideas for a project or something like that, I lock myself in a space, like mentally, like I'm like, okay, I need to make something that sounds like you said, thankful. Like what's something that people would put on when they're thankful? What could I see in the background or something? And I just stick with that. I may make 10, 15, 20 beats that fit that, and all of them don't work out at the end. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna narrow it down to these, but I just lock in and just try and do that, find loops or just build on my own and try and do, like, I'm somebody who likes to use minor scales a lot, but in that situation, sometimes I would try and do major scales to just get a different feel going.
Yeah, because it was like really.
So, yeah. No, and then at that time too, I knew I was going to get engaged and stuff, so it was just a lot going on.
Congratulations on that too.
Oh, thank you.
So beautiful.
So, thank you. So I was just, I had that in my back pocket, like, oh, let me put out a project called Thankful and do all this stuff.
So your real life.
That in a while.
So your real life kind of does like inspires your creativity.
Yeah, in a way, I would say so. It really depends on what's going on, because at the same time, if I have something going on that's like negative or something like that, it's kind of like I ain't working on nothing. Like I can't focus if I'm not in a good space. Some people will use that and be like, oh, I'm about to go sit and make something mean or something. It's like, no, that'll cause me not to feel it at that point. But I try to look around me and get out. Like I haven't really done that this time, but like with the Machine Plus, I plan on taking the machine to like the park and stuff like that and just sitting and creating in different spaces. So with that, yeah, I take stuff like that to inspire me. Like be in different zones, or sometimes I watch a movie or something and it'll inspire me to do something, or I look at an artist and be like, I want to get a song to that person. What do I need to make? And just start messing around like that. But as far as like like I really know people who be like, I put my pain in my music. It's like for me, that just don't work for me. I just be
I feel
like,
you. I feel you.
I could put my emotion into it, but that's not my driving force because if something's bothering me that much, I'm just like I'm not in the mood for any of it right now.
Wise words. So that's I want to just talk about that too because, like you said, like, because I know it's like some producers, like that's all they do. They just sit in a room and they just be, whatever on a machine, on like the machine, and then like they click in whatever in Fruity Loops. But like for you,
Mm-hmm.
like it's like following your channel and like when you talk to us, like you do tell like, okay, well I go for a hike or a walk or something like that when you create it, or
Mm-hmm.
like you do make videos outdoors, like you just have a life, you know what I'm saying? And I like that
Right.
you have a life and then you're so like productive, and then you're not just aimlessly productive, right? Because you still stay true to like your music and like your work, is even your channel and stuff like that. So I just like think that's really cool that
No, I used to be one of
like
them people that aimlessly
really.
did stuff. Like when probably around the time when you first started following my
Mhm.
channel, maybe a little bit after that, but like 2016, 2017 is all I would do is make beats, and then I'll be like, oh, I'm sending all these beats out and I'm not getting anything from it.
Mhm.
And it's because the way when I look back now, it's like I was a robot. Like there were days where I would make 10 or 15 beats in a day because
Really.
I was listening to everybody else say like, oh, you need to keep working, nonstop, nonstop. But then it was like, I mean, nothing happened with it. I got all these beats just sitting here, and I go back and listen to them. Like, yeah, I could have did better on a lot of this stuff. So it makes sense as to why nothing was happening with it. And if I'm just sitting here doing the same thing over and over again, it's just gonna become repetitive. And then I wasn't really getting any enjoyment out of it. I was just doing it for the sake of saying I was doing. Like I'm a producer. I made 10 beats a day. Like, no, now that I'm older though, we talking like 5 years down the line, 4 or 5 years. I'm like, nah, I have days where I don't make any beats. I may work on a video or just plot some stuff. I take a lot of notes on my iPad and stuff, just thinking of stuff. And then I might have days where I have a day where I can't make nothing. And then that night I might be able to sit down and knock out 5 beats.
In one
And
night,
then might not make any more.
in one night you can make 5 beats.
Yep. But
Whoa.
also, I don't mix my beats at the same time either, so that kind of slows it down. Like I had someone tell me in the comment, like that when the meter is red, that means you are clipping, so you need to figure out how you could change it. And I was like, dude, I know what it means. I'm not worried about that right now. But yeah, I'm big on that now. I try to tell people like if you're not feeling it, don't force it because it's not gonna work. Because they see other people like the whole thing about. I used to be one of the people that's like, no, I don't need sleep. I'm gonna sleep for 2 hours, but it's like, no,
Right.
my body was like, it's about to shut down, so I need some rest.
Right. I mean, because you're a father too. It's not like you just like a teenager that's just like, just doing whatever.
Right.
You got you got real life responsibilities. So, you got to get your rest
Yep.
in because that really do keep your mind straight. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta
I
get
want to,
your mental health, physical health, all that stuff.
yes, yes. So I see that you've been working out too. You've been working out, you've
Hmm.
been jogging, jump roping. I told you got to get a bike, but how's everything been
Yeah,
going?
I'm gonna get one. I'm actually slowing up on the running just because I enjoy jumping rope more so now, just because you get more results faster in my
Uh,
experience. Like I'll run for an hour and I may burn 400, 500 calories, but if I jump rope for an hour, I'm hitting that 1,000 calorie mark. So I'm like, I'm gonna just jump rope. But running is something that I enjoyed though, because I wanted to be able to say like I can see the progress as I'm going on. Like to say, oh, I did 5 miles today. I mean, if I say I jumped rope for an hour, you might just be like, okay. But if I say I did 5 miles today, like, dang, you did five, and it was able to just keep building and building. And I'm on that Nike app, so that kept me looking at other people's stats too. So I'm like, oh, I got to get out there today. He did it today, so let me go get out there today. But yeah, I feel like that's very important to get out there because it clears my mind and all that stuff too, especially with what's going on now. Like get out there and just get that clearness and then come back, not just do whatever. Like the creativity just flows. I'm out there hearing the birds and all that stuff. So yeah.
I just think it's cool because like you outside like doing this. Like it seemed like you're a nature guy. I don't know if you consider yourself that, but it seemed like it. So for you to still
I
find
just
your.
don't like being in the house all the time.
I feel you. I'm a homebody. I'm a homebody. I can do everything from at home, but like I do my yoga here as well. But like seeing you jump, like I want to learn more about that jump rope because I know for like as far as like being like a fit person, a fit person would tell you to jump rope because it's using your own body weight. So it's running, but it's like you using your thigh muscles, your ab muscles, shoulder. I mean, it's a full body workout, just jump rope. Like a lot of boxers do
Yep.
it. I'm a run, like I love to run. Like if I go to, I like to run at the gym. I never did it outside, but I do like 8 miles on the treadmill and I'll be good and go home. But I wasn't really building no muscle like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I can't do the treadmill though. I'll be getting bored in one spot. I'll be like, okay, something got to give here.
I just feel like I'd be on the road. But I honestly, I used to just run just to say I worked out just because sometimes, you can get, like I said, I'm a homebody and like I'm a workaholic. So I just like, okay, at least I just went to the gym. But
I get where you come from. I'm like that too, but it's just certain times. It's like that one time a day, go out and get that sun. Cause
right.
like I haven't even been to the studio since this stuff started. So
Since March. Since March.
I haven't been to. Last time I went to a studio was March 12th. I remember the date specifically. That's the last time I went to a studio. Everything else been done at home.
Okay. I mean, you technically got a studio, at home. Technically, you seem like you good.
I mean, I am, but I had some plans. Like I was going to
Okay.
have an actual place to work out of, and I was going to do like a machine meetup. I was
Okay.
starting to line up all of that stuff, and then like literally, I had stuff like set up. Like I had some monitors and stuff I was going to put in there, and I didn't even express any of this stuff on YouTube because it was just a plan.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with this guy, and I'm still going to do it eventually, but it's just life been flipped upside down. So it's like just taking it easy. But yeah, I had a whole plan. But I'm like, no, listen, if it wasn't for me working with people, not wanting people to come to my house, I'd just stay at home. Literally.
Yeah, that's dope. So we looking forward to all your endeavors, man, and that's gonna be dope when it do get started up.
Appreciate it.
So I want to talk about some music that you contributed. I'm sorry, I said it wrong, but you get it. Contributed this year to like the music community. You work with some local artists that like when you share your music, I learn about these artists like the artist Philip Banks. I remember you work with a girl named Janira, and Shakira is another one, if I'm saying that right. Shakia. Okay, yeah. So it's like an R&B type. So I like that you work with a lot of the females. First of all, I want to give you your props on that. Like you do a lot of work with women, and that's super cool. Some names that like we're familiar with. You work with Payroll on a Better Meat. That was dope. Your sampling, like the drums.
Thank you.
When a sample cut out and then the drums. I don't know. It's sweet. And,
no, I think they did that part of it though. I think they did.
Okay, they did that one. Okay, it was cool though. It worked. It worked. And you did Equal on Ice Bezo's playlist, featuring Dej Loaf. And then you also did Dej Loaf's 2 songs on Dej Loaf's EP. It's a setup. No passes. That's my favorite one. No passes. And then you did Technical Foul. So
I did. I did. It's a setup. And the no passes. I think Hella do Technical Foul. You did. That's the last one.
Okay, I'm not sure. I can definitely check it because I know you did 2 right on there.
Yeah, I did 2.
Let's check that. I'm sorry.
I just don't remember the names of the songs. Nope, he didn't do that one. Somebody else did that one. He did Rat. I forget who did Technical Foul.
I like the Rats. Now I don't want to pull up. I don't know. Let's see. It's the interesting thing is like for your like you on Tidal, it's like. It's so many different like your work is it's like under DDS, but it's like all different things. It's super interesting.
I didn't know that. I had to look that up.
So did you do It's a Setup?
Yep.
Okay, It's a Setup. Okay, that's what I meant. It's a
that's
setup.
My favorite one.
It's a Setup.
Yeah.
Get with my liver. I love that one. That's a vibe. That's a vibe.
I just like the way she sounded on it. All that it just
fit the sound. So that's what I want to talk about too, because like I feel like your production, when I hear artists on it, like they're very like vulnerable, like they tell a story. They can talk their shit too, but it's like it's really like personal. Like they share some like stuff about their personal life. Is not just just something just because something's trendy. I just feel like they get deeper. And I feel like your beats, they provide like such a mood, you know? And I remember I would tell you like, man, I love your sound. You like, a sound? What sound? And I'm like, it's a sound. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like nobody else's. It's just super clean. It's like a super clean sound. Ambient. It's aggressive, but it's still mellow and soft. I don't know. It's just a lot going on. So it's like, I love your sound and just like, okay, so when you're working with an artist, and you produce for artists, do you make beats specifically for them, or do you send them out and they choose what's best for them, or you know what I'm saying? So like, what is that process like for you?
Well, how can I put it? I'll explain each one of those that you brought up.
Okay.
With I Swear, Vezo, and Days. I actually met Vezo probably about a few months before that came out. Maybe it was a year. I don't know. Might have, but I met him sometime before then. Met him at a studio and I was playing beats for him. And when somebody told me that they had a song together, I'm like, oh, I was like, okay, that Days and Vezo have a song. I'm like, okay, I wonder which one of the beats he picked, because I left like a pack of 10 or something. Like I was sitting there just literally, this how I be in the studio. Like, you like this one? You like that one? You like this one? You like that one? Nope. Okay, this one. So I left him like a pack of 10 beats. And then from there, I didn't hear nothing. Then eventually somebody got in contact with me, like they got one. And I heard it. I'm like, I didn't send this beat to him. So that came from Days. Like that's the only person I sent that beat to. So for her, my process when it comes to working with her, like I have worked with her in the studio, but the funny thing is, I don't think there has been one song that's came out that came from us being in the studio together with me actually making a beat sitting there with her. I want to say all of it. I want to say, all right, I'm not saying all of it, 90% of it. And I'm almost sure it's 100% came from me working at home, sending it to her. So the whole, it's just a setup and no passes. That came from me working at home, sending it to her. And with her, that's the one person I'll say that I hold some beats back from, or for, I should say. I won't send them to nobody else. If I feel like I need to set these aside, I'm giving them to her. Now with Payroll is my favorite, one of my favorite rappers, period. I'm not going to say just out of Detroit. Yes. One of my favorite rappers, period. So I always wanted a song with him. We've had songs. I have a song with him from like 2015 that never came out. And it's funny that you mentioned like people seem like they're more vulnerable. We have a song together, and it's supposed to come out on one of his projects, I believe, but he sounds different in the way he was rapping and stuff like that. I said, he sounded like he was telling a story, and it sounded very vulnerable. And with the subject matter, I'm like, okay, I could see that. I'm like, man, I can't wait for this to come out. I could hear it in his voice and everything. Never came out. But then I reached back out to him probably January, something like that. And I was like, yo, what's your email? I just want to make sure I can send you some beats or whatever. And he gave me his email. It was still the same. I just wanted to make sure. And then probably, probably like April, I just told him, like, look, man, I'm about to start loading you up consistently with beats. And that's what I do when I find somebody I want to work with. Okay. I was like, I took the Dave's Loaf approach. I gave Dave's Loaf over 100 beats before it tried me for free. So with him, I'm like, let me just make something in his lane and then just build it up. And then I even sent him stuff that I didn't specifically make for him, because I don't want to send him all samples and stuff like that. I want to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, I just locked in. It's like, this payroll, this going to payroll, this going to payroll, this going to payroll, and I just send it. Like, I'm not one of the people that's like, oh, I need the money first, and I'm like, nope, take it. And then with the local artists, it's more so just finding people that I like their music and just want to work with. It's just reaching out and here, take it. Same approach, take it. Let's see what we can make.
I love that, because it's usually like, I don't know if I just be under a rock, but it's like people I never like hear of. Like, I didn't know of the Philip Banks artist, but he's pretty dope, you know. So
we went to high school together.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, so y'all got some history. So I don't know. I just think that's very like humble too, just to like, you still like making yourself like available. Everybody can have access if they, you know. I'm sure you got your price and everything like that, but you're not gonna just discriminate because this person is not just.
Oh yeah, if you send me a song and I like it, and I'm like, I want to hear what you sound like on my stuff. That's really all it is. Even down to Dave's Loaf, it was like I just wanted to hear her on my beat. It was never I can make a sale off of this. We gonna blow up and make some millions. It's like, if I want to hear your voice on my beat, let me give you a beat, and then I will just be happy having it, listening to it. And if something come from it, something come from it.
Right.
And I
So
think that's the whole difference right there. It's like somebody local come up to me, I'm not about to be like, oh, who are you? You got the blue check. It's like,
right,
no,
right.
like, if I like the music, we can put something together.
Yeah, because some people, some people they can get up there and like, feel that way. It's like it's more so about branding. But like
Yep.
how important like do you like because you explained that to me a little bit, but like how important do you think that is just collaboration, like just off the fact that you respect somebody's sound or you like it and you know to sound good with you. Do you think that's like important for a producer to do?
You saying is it important for you to like somebody's sound?
I mean, if you want to work with them, like should it be just that simple? Should it be just as simple as you like they sound and you want to work with them and not make it just about the money or,
I think so. I think it's based off of what you do it for. Some people are doing it specifically because they just want the money. So at that point, you don't care. But then I've had my moments like that with selling beats online. Like I've sold one specific beat, probably been sold about 60 times. And I only like maybe two of the songs people did to it, and the rest I'm kind of like, and I will share the one person song, but then I got all these other first off, so many people had the same beat, so it's just weird to me at the same time. But I won't share the other ones. I'm like, these are the only two that I really mess with, so that may make them feel some type of way. So yeah, but I feel like it's important if you are trying to build your own personal brand that you find people to work with that you would want to listen to, because in that case, you will push it. You don't want to work with somebody who you don't want to share the music with or share the music to the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. And so you also mentioned that like Payroll is one of your favorite artists, just period. In
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, like we behold like Payroll, like he's dope here, but he's loved all around the world. So how was that like you working with your favorite artist and having something out on this project and then like you said like made such a great song? Like how does that feel? Because I don't know that feeling.
I can tell you exactly what I said to him if I can find it real quick, actually.
You got time?
Let me see if I can pull it up. Because I like to be as authentic as possible so people know. I said, I appreciate you dropping that song on the project. Now I can say I have a track out with one of my favorite rappers. Literally,
Oh,
like that's how I felt. It was like I didn't even know it was on there. That's the crazy thing. I found out because somebody had literally just tagged me and was like, heard this. I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, let me look. I was like, oh, this on here? And I listened to it and I was like, man, that's crazy. Because we have songs together. They just not out yet. But the fact now I can like the way I look at it is I could tell you all day that I have a song with somebody, but if you can't go pull it up, you probably like you can believe me, but you might be like, yeah, okay. Like if I said I have a Drake song and that Drake song never come out, people gonna say, oh, you got a song with Drake, okay. But then when you hear it, it's a different effect. But for me, it was just like I remember listening to Payroll when I was working at Target, and it was like I would drive to Target blasting the music, and it made me feel like I was worth $1 million.
yeah,
Like I was about to go do
yes,
something. It's like, yeah, I'm just about to go work at Target though. I'm listening to Mob Life driving to Target.
right.
So
Going to
it was just one of
a
them things.
family appropriate place, Target, and just feeling
Right.
it's
Yep.
hardcore music. No, that's
Yep.
amazing. That's amazing. I hope that you get more to that, and I know it will come. And two, like
Yeah.
when I look at your discography, like you have worked with like a lot of people. Even a Plies record. First of all, that was dope. Like people need to like I don't know, it needs to resurface or something because he did his thing. Like people don't know like Plies
hmm
is rap. Like people see his funny personality, but he can spit. Especially like
hmm
his old albums. Like I was a fan back in high school.
Yep. I
But
was too in high school for
okay,
sure.
so what's that 1,000 years? I forget the real testimony is what made me a fan.
I had all them albums.
Man,
Goon affiliated, all that.
man, he was like he was hip hop. He is hip hop. So I just thought that was super cool. Like, who can say they did a producer record for like Plies? Like and Plies was just spitting, like just showing us like
That was
still.
random how that even came about. Like that was right when I was thinking about getting management and all that stuff, and I was sitting there with them, and then they was like, oh, somebody on the phone, it's Plies, and they put it on speakerphone, like, oh, he want a beat, he want to work, send him a pack, and I'm like,
Oh well, he reached out to you. Man, that's love. That's love.
I have a song with Boosie, that
Okay.
never came out. It was supposed to go on one of his albums, and that came about because Days FaceTime me like, Boosie looking for you. I was like, Boosie looking for me. I'm sitting here in Taco Bell drive through, like, Boosie looking for me. Oh, what do you want? Send
Man,
me some beats for him right now.
legends.
So
So yeah, that's
yeah,
cool. Like I just love to see like when like artists when they reach out to like producers because I don't know. That's I just feel like that seemed like it's really dope.
that's why I say it seems like it never happens, but I think it does behind the scenes and stuff like that. But another one that reached out to me was Trey the Truth. That's how I had the Trey and Lil Durk
Yo,
thing. Like he literally hit me up, like send me some beats, and he would call sometimes, and I'd be like, oh shoot, he like you really calling me? Like it's crazy.
he fire. I'm sure. I mean, I like your reach is like far. I mean, because like you do put your beats out on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And then
Hmm.
you will put like such and such type beat. Like people be on there, they see that. Like I was just seeing like Meek Mill, like you know when he did the
Yep.
freestyle to YouTube beat, like you be
Yep.
out there. So I just think it's cool. Like you not hard to find as far as like if you want to
By
work.
the
You know.
way, I'm thinking about putting those beats back on my channel. I
Okay.
separated it for a minute, but doing the beats channel, that it seemed like it was getting nowhere, and I was like, it was going somewhere, but it's like, I could when I had the platform already, I could already place it here, but I could ask you your opinion. What do you think about that? Should I keep it separate or should I put it back on the main channel?
Okay. So let me think. I'm with both. I'll tell you why. I think the main channel, just because everybody already used to going to that oasis for your beats, and we already notification squad. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
some people are there just for your beats. Like some people are there for the inspiration, but I mean, you got so many different avenues because you do the stocks. I mean, you got
Right.
followers, so your page is like a one-stop shop. However, if I don't know. With the B channel, I'm subscribed to the B channel, but I don't think I
Right.
see it that
Appreciate
much. I don't be seeing it that much in my as much as I see your main channel. So
that.
I don't know. I say keep it all together.
I stopped. I haven't put a beat on the beat channel up in. Does that make sense? When I said I haven't uploaded a beat to the beat channel in about 60 days, I think, and that
That's a
just became because I was when I started doing that, and that goes back to the whole thing about you working at your own, like with your mind. Like I'm not a robot, so I was actually being a robot at that point. Like, oh, Meg the Stallion type beats working. Oh, we doing Meg the whole month until it stopped going. So I would sit here and just be making, and it just got to a point where I'm like, nah, this ain't it no more. So like, if I were to do it again, like on my main channel, that Mary J. Blige sample beat has 100,000 views. I have other ones that have over 50,000 views, and I'm like, why am I over here when
right.
I already took the time to build the platform? I was trying to rebuild it, and I don't have that passion to just sit there and just do beats over and over and over and over again, just specifically for that, because those beats have to go on BeatStars and all of that. So I would probably just drop them once a week. Here's a beat. Here's another one. Maybe do like a mix of beats for probably like 20, 30 minutes where it can just ride out
Mm-hmm.
and do it that way. But the whole robot thing, that wore out quick.
Man, you are a machine. Like every time I'm on YouTube, because I'm notification gang, like I said, but I
Appreciate it.
always get some notifications. I love that. Like I follow you and you actually consistent. And even if you ever decide to take a break, like we got enough content, but like you always put up content that's new, modern, and introducing us to like a lot of new stuff. But yeah,
Appreciate it.
so I don't know. I'm with for either channel they own, but that one channel that's where we know we're gonna find you at that DDS 85
Yep.
825. So my next question is, so what was your aha moment for like when you realized music was for you? Like what was it that you like, this is what I want to do, like this is what I know I can do, this is my thing.
Hmm. That's a good one. Um, I would say when I first heard "Try Me" on the radio was kind of a moment for me, and then that was my first time having a song on the radio. Then when what happened after that? I want to say when Wiz Khalifa did a remix to it,
Oh
when
wow,
I got paid for it, and
that's
then when I signed an admin deal with Warner Chappell, that was a moment for me because that moment changed my life like that. Literally, like once I did it, was like, oh, stuff changed like that. But that's just finances and stuff. But besides, like, I was thinking about this earlier because I look at other people sometimes and I don't compare myself to them, but I see that everybody has their own journey. It's people who I've worked with who either went up, and I'm talking about like other producers, like just been around, not necessarily worked with, or they went down, and everybody has their own different reasons. And I feel like for me, I don't know if I had the aha moment outside of the trying me stuff, or when, you know, I take that back. I take all of that back. I found it that quick. Take all that back. My aha moment is when I could wake up and do what I want to do without having to have a job. That's where I was going with all of this stuff. Being able to take a trip, didn't have to worry about money like that. And yeah, I had a few aha moments. So that was going with the music, and then to what I do now. I feel like I do music now, but I'm more so on the business side, like YouTube, multiple streams of income, so affiliate marketing, my courses, things of that nature, because I had the aha moment of thinking all was gonna be good with just chasing the placement stuff, and then that's it. Nope. I had to find something else to do. And then I feel like that aha moment was more valuable, like when I hit rock bottom, because it really, I had my back up against the wall and had to figure out a way to make things happen. So now my aha moment is the fact that I haven't had a job since 2013, no, 2014 was the last time I had a job. And people come to me and ask me, they be like, how do you still do that? And you ain't had a song out in a while. How you? Like, because I do multiple things and stuff like that. But the thing I was getting at with the other stuff, though, with everybody has their own thing, because some people would say, when I went to this studio, that's when I had an aha moment. When I met this person, it was an aha moment. But then to be honest, I don't know if I ever really had the dream of being the guy to travel to the different studios would be with this rapper, that rapper, this rapper, that rapper, because I'm a different type of person in a sense. I had to be around people that, how can I put it? I don't drink, I don't smoke. So that puts me in a whole nother vibe.
Yeah.
So when I'm in the studio with people that's drinking and smoking, doing pills, whatever they doing, I'm sitting here like this.
Yeah, that's not your environment.
Like, exactly. I'm like, this ain't what I'm in. But I'm in this lavish studio that people would kill to even be in here playing music for this person specifically, and they would kill for the opportunity. And I'm just like, can I get an Uber to go home, please? I'll catch y'all tomorrow.
Right.
You know, so I was just making that point because I didn't want nobody who ever watched this to be like, yo, aha moment, what about the time you did this? And I'm like, no, that wasn't it.
Yeah, everybody aha moment, we realize stuff on, like you said, on our own pace and our own journey. And what wakes me won't wake you, and what you think is enlightened is not the same. So as somebody else is like, somebody aha moment could be when they went to the fridge and I don't know, something basic like that. So exactly.
Food.
Right.
No, but one more though that's very important. Was the trip that I took to Germany was an aha moment about what I could do on my own from home with my own channel. Nope. There was times people who I looked at as like, I look up to them and stuff. They were telling me, don't do YouTube, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, but this is what I want to do. So I started doing it that way. And from there, being able to get flown out to Germany, I'm sitting on the plane going somewhere I ain't never been before, never been on that side of the world, all because I started a YouTube channel, which turned into a platform, and I just talk and make beats and set the camera up, do all the stuff myself. And that just showed me like I could literally build anything up and show that I have value, because obviously if I didn't have value, it wouldn't be flying me out there or nothing like that. So yeah, that's an important one.
Yeah, I mean, you are assets to so many like different like brands, or I don't know the corporate, I don't know what to call them, but like Native Instruments, you do a lot of work with them. I don't know if you're doing any work with Output, but I can see, if it's not, I can see that coming. Like
I've done some stuff with them through Native Instruments.
Okay, before, yeah. Okay, because they kind of like affiliated in a way. I'm seeing like you can purchase some of the Output stuff on nativeinstruments.com. But you're such an asset, so it's like, how would people know now? How would they have known you was that good with their stuff or in teaching it if you never made your channel? Like, you got to put yourself out there.
Exactly.
You know, so I know, like, for me watching you, I feel like that's what I got most about watching you, because at first it was just me like watching how to like I was like creepily watching your channel, like learning how to make a beat. You just be sitting there making. I'm like, okay, that's how you do it.
Right.
It's like this a bass. I'm like, what is he doing? Pitching it up, and then okay, that's what he's
Mm-hmm.
doing. But it's like I forgot what to say with all that. But what was I saying? Help you out.
You
So
were
what
about to
I
say you were
learned
just saying about watching the YouTube
what I
channel
learned
and
from
learning.
Yes. Okay, so what I learned from you, besides just watching how to make a beat, because thank you for that. I mean, I want to stay consistent with that. I would have threw that machine away. Like that was the hardest thing in my life, man.
I know. Trust me, I know.
Oh, I stayed in the house for literally 2 weeks straight. I just went to work and I went home and I would sleep in front of that beat machine. But you talk about like telling people like just put your beats up on YouTube, because at first I'm like, even though my beats suck, I'm still like, I ain't putting my stuff out. They gonna steal it. Da, 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 da. But you like just put it out there. Like how will people know that how will people
Mm-hmm.
know like what you sound like? How will people know you even doing this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I learned that. But yeah, so that's what I was going to talk about next was your channel. Okay, so what made you take your channel serious and engage more with your fan base instead of just like making the beats, which was cool, you know what I'm saying? So, but what made you take it to that next level?
I thought about leaving a legacy in a sense, because if something were to ever happen to me, I feel like YouTube's gonna be around a long time and all of that stuff will be there. And then two, honestly, it was just me talking to myself some of the times. And then two, I wanted to get a better on camera presence.
Mm-hmm.
So the way to get a better on camera presence was for me to, excuse me, get on camera and put the videos out. I mean, I could have got on camera and didn't put them up, but I'm like, I could put this up. And then with people asking me questions, it was like, okay, here's the information you need right here. So you can stop asking me. Here's the link. Because I would get the same questions over and over. So here. And it just grew over time, because like you just said, the making the beat stuff is cool, but at the same time, I feel like it's more that I could add to it. Even now, I'm trying to think of ways that I can do something more, like with what I'm doing my beat videos now. I'm trying to talk at the beginning of them for a second and just explain something that's going on at the time, or why I'm working on what I'm working on, or what I have going on, because I feel like that's an important part. Because to me personally, I just got tired of making the beat where it's like the videos where I just set the camera up, boom, 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 okay, done, upload, all right, next day, boom, 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 upload. It just got boring, and I didn't want to let the channel die either. So I'm trying to find ways to grow with that personally. But yeah, really at that point in time, it was just outside of doing it for myself and legacy. I don't know what else it was, because that's a real good question. There was no real math behind it, like I'm gonna do this and make money, or I'm gonna do this and try and work with brands. I think after a while, I had someone from Native Instruments reach out to me when Try Me was first going on. They said they saw my video and they're like, "You made Try Me on the Machine Micro?" And I was like, "Yeah." They was like, "What else did you use?" I was like, "The Micro and then the Kai thing." And they were like, "Oh wow." And then at that point in time, I had like an artist situation where they gave me like half off of a Machine Studio. But then now, where I do the stuff now, they send me the stuff, because
Man, that's a blessing. That's
it's
a
like
blessing.
I built my brand. But it
Yeah,
was never, that's a good question. Like, it never was really any real, like, I'm gonna do this for the money. It was just, man, something happened to me. My grandkids be able to look back and say, "Oh, he made beats and he chased his dream and made a
right,
business." I can sit here
right,
and watch it.
right. Because I don't know, it was just cool, like just to see like you shared your story on your channel about like how you like went to work and how you would make beats when you came home, how you was working at a factory, then you got laid off. Like, you actually like share your story, because a lot of people are in that same situation or have been. So it's like to hear somebody break free from that and do what they love, and live a life that they want to wake up for, So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
cool, just sharing yourself. And I'm looking forward to more of that on your channel as well. And
Yeah, I'm
seeing
trying to figure out how to incorporate more. That the part two of that story will be crazy.
the part, man, I can see them having you with like at schools and like just teaching people, like at those like music schools, like Clive Davis got a school and a full set. I can see them bringing you in. I mean your journey is going to be dope. So,
I actually told them that. I told Native Instruments that. Like, I told them, like, I would love to be one of the people that just go around and show people how to use this stuff if y'all ever need something like that. Cause I know at the time there were some people, like, if this producer he's hot, so they go teach him how to use the stuff and everything. Like I've seen videos like that before. But yeah, even to schools like on that, like I'm one of my plans that I expressed to somebody was that I would like to actually have my own school where like the machine is standalone now. I can sit there and show you how to make a beat on the machine. We don't need no computers. We don't need nothing. We can take this. I had 10 people, and this is what we're gonna do. And hopefully kids, you know, I ain't trying to really teach adults like that because they be in their own way and stuff like that. But
That's real.
the kids, they're open to just like, oh, push. I can make a mistake, not, hey, how do you quantize this? Like, no, just have fun for a minute.
It's a whole new world for them. Yeah.
Like I took graphic design in high school, and I would like to do something like that for music production. That's something that I definitely thought about.
Because I want to get back into the graphic design part too when I talk about our tech part. So I'm got to make a mental note of that.
Okay.
It's some stuff that you do graphic design that, you know, I peep. So I just want to say, this is just a comment right now. I noticed, like, do you ever watch like the Genius breakdowns when they show how this person made a beat? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, you notice there's never nobody with a machine on there?
Yeah.
Like
it's rare. It's FL Studio.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for the most part that I've seen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So a little bit of Logic. I see some people doing cool stuff with the beats with Logic, and it's super cool. But yeah, so that's just interesting. I wanted to share that with another machine person. Did you ever consider yourself a teacher? Like, did you ever think like I'm a teacher, or because I'm sure you didn't set out to be that, but it kind of happened, and you really just took the role. You embody it perfect, you know. But like, you a great teacher, man. Like, do you want to do more with teaching, like how we mentioned, going to schools and stuff? And do that?
Yes, I do. But the funny thing about that is, I had a teacher when I was going to Washington Community College.
Okay.
It was a music theory class. I played a beat for the class because he's like, oh, what do y'all want to do when y'all get older? And something like, show how you can incorporate music in that. So I was like, I play a beat. He was an older white man, and he was like, the class was clapping, and he was just, and I was like, okay. He was like, no. He said, you know, it's okay to love music. He said, but it's not you.
Wow.
He was like, it's just not you. And he said, he's like, now hear me out. He said, you just don't have the personality for it. He said, I'm not saying that you can't make good music. You do not have the personality for it. And I, you know, me being young, I'm getting all upset. Like, what you mean? Like, I'm getting all upset. And he was like,
it's just hearing this, man.
And he was like, he said, but so I could see you being the teacher. He was like, you could really teach. He's like, I could see you being the teacher. And then I went back there after I got my plaque for trying me, and I was like, yeah, man, I just wanted to see him, and he just brushed me off. I was like, dang, like, I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm not gonna say his name.
You should say his name. Say it.
No, I'm not mad about it. It was just like I went back up there. My friend actually took his class. He was like, you should just come in and say what's up to him. So I was like, oh, no. How you doing? He was like, oh, how you doing? And I was like, you know, I got the song, it went gold, and da 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 da. He was like, that's good, but backup plan. He just walked away. And then now that I look back on it, I'm like, dang, I'm like, he just asked me, do I ever consider myself a teacher? It's like, I get paid. I have one-on-one sessions. I have a course. Like, I'm teaching people. The YouTube channel grew kind of with me teaching people how to do certain things on video. So it's like, I consider it now, and I would like to do public speaking or being a teacher and stuff like that, because I feel like with the music stuff, that was my entry, and it's like it's gonna lead me to so many other things over time. But I could definitely see it.
I can see you doing that too. I know that's what I'm gonna speak that in your life. You just don't be traveling, teaching it, and God's gonna bring you into some amazing places. I'm still mad about that teacher, because who else dreams he probably killing in them schools? But we gonna let it go. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I was just saying it really just, maybe he saw something in me, and I don't know, maybe he's psychic.
The teacher part.
He was like, hey,
we
gonna do something.
Okay, so you was doing music in high school then, huh? In middle school too?
I started in high school. I want to say I started in like 10th grade, 9th or 10th grade. 9th grade was when I just downloaded FL Studio demo, messing around with it. Don't know what I'm doing. I met somebody in sophomore year. He was making beats, and we sat up there. I was like, I know graphic design. I know Photoshop. He was like, I know how to make beats. we just traded. He showed me how to take my beats from 10-second loops to making them full songs, and I showed him how I could do Photoshop. And we just worked like that.
That's dope, man. Like that's what it's about. So what would you say to somebody that wanted to get started in making beats, but maybe they don't have a lot of money, or maybe they don't have a family that can buy them a laptop or a beat machine or something like that? What would you tell them to do in the meanwhile? Like,
How old are they?
okay, so these invisible people are, it's all about the kids. So I'll say from 10 to 16, 10 to 16-year-olds. Maybe some adults too.
I was gonna say I'll probably lean more towards the teenagers. I would say save your money, but stuff now isn't really expensive to where you need a lot. You could buy a machine micro. I think it's what $350, something like that, and you could get the software and then eventually continue to build up. But if you don't want to start with that, there's apps on the iPad, there's apps on the phone that can just get you started. And then when you get that passion for it, I feel like you'll make the sacrifices necessary over time. Like instead of buying the new Xbox for Christmas, you can get a new machine or something like that, or get an FL Studio license and a VST, and then just start learning about it. And then for the adults, that at that point you just had to save up money. That's what I had to do. I had to save up money for Nexus when that was popping. I saved the money for that. Saved the money for my FL Studio license. All of that is just, you got to make the sacrifices and, you know, put away money for it, whether it's you only putting up $50 out of every check you get. It's going to take a while, but it'll be worth it in the end, because there ain't nothing like owning your stuff. That pirated stuff, that ain't it. Ain't nothing like owning it.
I never, and it'd be people that, because they'd see me got my setup and they'd be like, well, can you help me with this? And then they'd bring it to me, and then it's some, I don't even know, some bootleg version of like Pro Tools. And I'm like, I can't work with you. I don't know. I never bootleg anything. I bought it all. Listen, I don't got the nicest shoes all the time, but my plug-in game, I could have a million pair of shoes if I bought.
in high school, I did. In high school, I had pirated FL and what else? I had some VSTs and stuff like that, but it never really sat right with me. And then once I was old enough to work, it was like, oh, no, got a job. All right, buy FL Studio. All right, got this, buy this. And it just became a thing where it's over time I was collecting. I bought Complete 9 off of an unemployment check when I got laid off. Like,
hey, so you got unemployment, for invest, okay?
Yep.
But I think for grown-ups, like, don't be bootlegging stuff out here, y'all. Like, just invest.
No, definitely not. That's what I'm saying. Save it. That McDonald's you buy or whatever, the extra, you go to the grocery store, you might buy some extra snacks that you don't need, you know, save it.
Teenagers, that's different, because, I mean, do your thing. You get it how you live. But adults, like, come on. Especially if you want to take it serious. Like, if you want to take music serious, I feel like you definitely should just invest in yourself. And you have a better sound.
You want people to invest in you, so you got to invest in yourself.
See?
Can't be making beats on free software thinking you going to get the money back.
Right. Because people, I don't know, it's a sound. I feel like my style changed, especially like when you would talk about like where you get your drums from. And at first I thought you was talking about like, because you know, with Machine, before I ever bought a expansion pack, I was using the drums that came with Machine. And you was like, these drums the best. And I'm like, these drums suck. What is you saying? I didn't realize you meant expansion. So they don't suck though. They don't. They good, but I just thought that that's all he was using. I'm like, can't be. People
still ask me that now, though. They're like, you only use the expansions. I'm like, the drums I've been using for probably the past year have all been from the pure drip expansion, literally since it came out. Now that they had a certified gold, I'm using that.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I'm saying for a whole year. That's crazy for one expansion pack. Like, that's crazy.
Yep, for the most part.
Yeah, I like the stereotypes have been my go-to for everything. And then they have another one called like Midnight. It's a purple, but the drums go with everything. So that's pretty dope.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've been using that for every type of thing. Yeah, so I guess that goes into my next part of this interview, which is technology. We already kind of discussed some of it, but I was just going to ask you, how has technology enhanced your creative endeavors and like your workflow and things like that? If you want me to get more detailed, I can too.
Let me see. Yeah, you can go more detailed.
Okay, for sure. So like you on your channel, like you do like product reviews, you teach people how to use certain software, you have hardware, you just got the new machine plus that you can use, like you said, without a computer. And then two, also like your software, like you use certain things for your mixes that just make them super unique. Like it's not just the basic pen and you use certain stuff. So it's just like, how important is it for you to have like those things, and how do you feel like it enhances like your music and also your workflow?
I feel like it helps me get everything out of my head faster. Like with machine, how they have the chords and scales and stuff. I probably would have it would took me probably a few years to learn how to play before I started doing that. I don't know how to play now, but it just makes it easier to where I don't have to. Like I just lock in the scale on the machine and I'll just sit here and tap it and it sounds good, make it sound good. But like you said, for the mixes, technology makes it faster for me because I don't spend that much time sitting there all day doing it. But on the hardware side, like this standalone machine,
How's that treating you? Tell us about how that's treating you right now. Like,
I've had it for 2 days, and it's just the fact that every time I've made beats at home, I'm in this same space right here. And I get tired of it. It'd be like I'm sitting in the same spot over and over. So the last night, I sat on the couch, made a beat. Went upstairs, made a beat. This morning, and I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to turn on a documentary. Where's the machine at? Plug it into the wall, just headphones in. Oh, this sounds good. Knock it out. I'm going to take it all over the place and do it. And it was like, I always wanted to make a beat on an airplane, but I didn't never had enough space to do it because I have to have space for a laptop. Now that I got this, I could do it like that. So for me, it's just helping my overall creative process. I'm excited to see what else is to come with this because I feel like this is in this early stage. That's why I'm like, when people be saying stuff about it, I'm like, listen, I think it's going to be a monster by the time they get it all the way where they're trying to get it to go. But yeah, technology played a factor. And if it wasn't for the advances in technology, I probably never would have got into making beats because there wouldn't have been no FL Studio or nothing. It would have been go buy an MPC, and I definitely didn't have the money for that at the time. So it would have been a lot less people doing it. And even to the YouTube stuff, like I run all of this stuff myself. Like I shoot my own videos, the lighting, the sound, all that stuff, the editing, and with technology, even down to like Final Cut, it's so easy to edit my videos. So I'm grateful for it. I know some people are worried about like AI and stuff like that, getting rid of producers. I hear people mention that, like, oh, a computer can make a beat now, but I don't think that's gonna be the case.
they gonna always need us to control it, you know. Like did you get the new RX 8 from Isotope?
Nope, I didn't.
Okay, it's pretty cool. I got it just because like I'm more so like record people at home and stuff, but it takes out stuff in your audio, like, you know, just like say if we're recording and somebody like hits the window, you can take it out like that. But that's kind of AI, but they still need a human to know what to take out in that sense. So I don't no worries to stuff like that. Like
I need to look into that.
Yeah.
With my kid being here all day long, I need to look into it. Recording videos, have to restart.
Yep. But you said you was gonna start. Like I'm gonna keep holding you to it. You said you was gonna rap for us. I remember you said you got like some stuff you can rap and stuff. You gonna let us hear that one day?
I do have it somewhere. It's like in my Dropbox. Maybe me and my son make a song. He raps sometimes.
He raps?
So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't even engineer, but I felt like that is a way for me to learn how to engineer. I'll lower this down and just be like, put on the beat, you do your thing, and then we just save it.
Man, that would be amazing.
Maybe one day we'll drop a project or something. Maybe one day.
That'd be super cute too.
But I feel like all producers can rap to a certain degree because
we know
you can not rap, but I feel like do whatever music it is you like because you have to have some type of ideas and flows while you're doing. So I don't think anybody's sitting here not hearing nothing the whole time they're working.
Right, exactly. And then too, if you know what you like to hear, sometimes you can just lay that down, even if you never put it out. Like you could just lay that down and just like this what I hear on this type of beat or this type of like loop or something.
Or it's like that. You could do a mumble track and give it to a rapper or something to help them, you know, because people be just saying stuff when they're gonna be there like just to get that idea going, and they go back and fill in the words.
Yeah, I always thought that was really weird seeing people doing, but I was like, oh, that's why it's like a reference. Oh, I get it.
It's just getting the vibe going at
Right,
first.
right. Okay, so too, I remember you do photography.
Hmm.
How's that been going? Especially now, you probably got a little bit more time to do it. Like, have you been getting into it?
I did a photo shoot for my son's book.
Like,
What else did I do? That's pretty much it. Cause all the type of photography I like to do is go to a city and just take a whole bunch of pictures of random stuff. I'll take pictures of people, take pictures of signs, buildings, whatever. That's fun to me. Events I've done weddings and stuff like that before, but it seems like people don't have that much going on, and even then it's limited. Like even down to my wedding, it's like you got to limit it due to COVID, so it's not like you can have this bunch of people. So it's just different right now. But I enjoy doing it. I want to take more pictures all the time. It's just like even of myself, but I be looking rough now because I don't get haircuts all the time no more like I used to.
it's a
I
vibe,
be thinking
man.
about all that.
It's a vibe. Cause and then too with the graphic designing, like I know you say you did that in high school, right?
Hmm.
And like I know for okay, so first of all, I just want to say this. I want people to notice about you because like you are like a self-made artist too as well because you package everything that you do that goes up on your channel that we see. But the pictures, like say you would use pictures and like word like your titles would be you would do it with style. It wasn't just like okay, this is that beat and let me
Right.
go into iMovie. Like you actually put in some effort and use your creativity to even package your beats for YouTube. Like you take yourself
Hmm.
super serious. So I just think that's cool that you're using it. Like, are you into graphic design now? I can see a little bit of it, but are you still into
Oh
it?
yeah, like I graphic design was probably my first love in a sense. It was my
Okay,
first business. I
okay.
was 16 years old. I had a PayPal account because I went to the University of Michigan Business School, Ross School of Business. Throughout high school, like I went up there, I was part of the program. We would stay up there. They taught us how to do business. They would give us PayPal accounts. That's how I had a PayPal account that young. Because I don't know if you can get a PayPal account if you're not 18. I'm not sure, but I had one and I would design layouts for people. And then I had rappers coming to me. Like, I don't know if you remember on MySpace, they had the DIB layout
Mhm.
where it'll be like a big old picture of the rapper. You can put stuff here, put stuff there, put stuff there. I was doing those and I was charging like $150, $200. And it only taking me probably about 30, 40 minutes to do it. But I was just charging. So I was making money in high school doing that. And I enjoyed it. I used to do mixtape covers. I have examples of stuff that I could probably pull up on my phone in a minute. But I got to the point when I went to school at Washington, they were like, make a children's book. I'm like, I don't want to make a children's book. That's not my style. And then when I started doing it, and she was like, no, you need to do it this way. And I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. By that time, I'd already found music, but it was just the fact that unless I was going to work for myself, I probably was going to run into issues. If I did, like with graphic design, I was like, I'm going to go move to a big city, have a loft downtown like New York, and I'm going to be this big graphic designer working for these companies, working for Nike. I
Mhm.
made ads for, not ads, but like the game 2K.
Yeah,
I made covers for the games and I would just send them to them just like, oh, if they're gonna use it, like with
that's dope.
LeBron James, but then a Michael Jordan one. I knew how to do all that stuff, still do, but it was just I fell out of love with it once I got to school and they was trying to make me do all that stuff. And I was just like, yeah, forget it.
It's not the way I was going. We do want to see that if you want to pull it up, like that'd be dope.
Just see if I could pull it up. Let me
Okay.
see. I'm sure I have some stuff on Facebook because that's where I used to post all that stuff. I don't even know how to look at my photos on Facebook. Let me
Okay.
check. Let me check. I'm on my profile. How do you get to your photos on Facebook?
I just made it, but I think you go to your profile and then go to photos, and
I
then
don't even see that on
okay.
here.
You on your like page? Um,
Nope, I'm on my personal page.
Let me check for. Let me snap you. Let me see.
Okay, I found. I just searched photos and then it's showing me my photos. I wish I could find the album though, but let me check real quick. See, because it should pop up. I'm looking for something cool that I could just show real quick, and this is giving me the hardest time trying to find one.
Okay.
Let's see if they have a filter. All right, I'll show you this one real quick, and then I'll look and see if I can get some more. This was something I did in high school. I took my head and put it on P. Diddy's head.
That I'm gonna say because that just
And
looked
then
like you at a
I
bank.
put it in the background. Like I put it in the background. Like the background wasn't there or nothing. And I
Oh, okay,
just
so that's
did
all
that.
Photoshop, Mr. Smith.
Yep. And
That's
I gotta
cool.
find. This
P.
would just
Diddy
be my
head.
thing.
That's funny. Yeah, that Adobe sweet.
Oh, you're right. I see the photo thing now. It was so small that I couldn't even tell. All right, let me see. Because I think I put all of them on private because I just didn't want nobody to be looking at this stuff. But like this, I did this Lil Wayne flyer.
Oh, that's all cool. I see that. That's for like a party or something? Or just like a mix?
It was a concert.
Okay.
Gucci Mane mixtape cover.
Ooh, that's fire.
So when everybody was all into that stuff, that's what I was doing. I was just having fun with stuff, doing stuff like this.
Oh, that's cool. That's Bane. Is that Bane?
Game. I just took his face. I put a skull on his face and then put some knives in his hand. Yeah, that's what I used to do. My son talking to me now. You see. But yeah, that's what I used to do in high school. Made money doing that, so it was cool.
That's dope. I mean, the way you package your stuff, because I remember you came when you first started doing like your thumbnails and doing it. I'm like, oh, he bossed it all the way up. That's dope though. So we're getting to the end of the interview, and I just want to talk just about time management and everything. You discussed some of it though in our just dialogue here today. And also, I want to talk about your goals and music for the future. So you want to talk about how you juggle everything, like your personal life, how you juggle getting the adequate amount of rest, how you juggle your self-care with your workouts, how you juggle time to be creative and make music. So, like, how do you do that?
I try to juggle things by making things to where it makes sense. Like with my son being in virtual school right now, I know I'm not gonna be able to make beats while he's doing his work and stuff because I need help with this or can you help me with this? So I know I'm not gonna be down here with the headphones on or can't even have the headphones on, so I gotta listen. So it's like I find stuff to do. I'm gonna respond to comments and emails while he's doing that. I'm gonna brainstorm some ideas. When he's done with that, then it's time for me to hang out with him and stuff.
Yes.
And then, okay, after that, now it's time for me to exercise. Oh, okay, now it's time to eat. So that's family time again. Then, he's going to bed. All right, I'm going to dedicate the next 2 hours to making something. Sometimes I do videos while he's in class, or I'll do like the interview now, or like, well, he's not in class now, but like he's right here. But I think she heard. He told me to tell you hi.
Congratulations on your book.
Said hi. She said congratulations on your book.
And I'm getting it for my niece, and I would like if he signed it. I'll let you know all that stuff. But yeah,
she said she's getting it for her niece, and she would like for you to sign it.
Your autograph. You a superstar.
Mm-hmm. He said he'll do it. But yeah. So it's just a matter of just having priorities. Like what this whole COVID stuff showed me was like, I mean, my priorities wasn't really messed up in the first place. Like I used to go to the movies and stuff, but when it came down to time, it's like I would put my time in at home. I would work. When he was going to school, that's when I used to do all my videos. That's why I used to go so hard on it and also be doing live streams. He'll be gone, he'll be quiet. Yeah. With him being here, my fiance works from home sometimes, so it's like,
shout out to her.
I need to have this. Yeah, shout out to her. Need to have the family time and tell her sometimes like, okay, just give me 2 hours or just some time to just knock out some work. Then we'll watch a movie or something like that. And then having specific days, like that's another thing with him being in school. I value the weekends now because I'd be tired. Like I'd be feeling like I'm going to school.
Right.
He go to school.
You are.
Yep. So it's like with the weekends, it's like I may not do nothing at all on Sunday regardless to work, unless it's an email or something like that. But I also feel like, for me personally, I feel like I've done enough to the point where I don't have to be one of those people that's like a workaholic on my business for 12 hours a day. It's like I can make, if I sit down for 2 hours, I could probably make easy 4 or 5 beats depending on what's going on. But I use time to also clock things out. It's all about time management. Like I feel like anybody could fit anything in where they need to. I try to make sure I get like 6, 7 hours of sleep a night. I'm not one of those 3 hours type of people. And then with the physical like exercise and stuff, I try to do at least 30 minutes minimum, 5, 6 days out the week minimum. And that's not even a lot of time. I feel like people make a lot of excuses. That's all. That's really all it is. Like even with the new machine, it's like if my fiance want to watch a movie, I'll be like, put the headphone like this so I can still hear and be over here. Okay. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You got to find your own balance. I know everybody's situation is different. Like I had somebody reach out to me. I want to say he had like 4 kids and he was saying he can't find time to create. And I was like, that's a tough one. I'm like, you probably can find it somewhere, but that's going to be tough, especially if they're not close in age. You got little, this one's here, this one's there.
They need
it's a lot.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's just about making your priorities and figuring out what you need to do. Like, I don't go nowhere, really, so I'm right here. He chilling playing Fortnite, so I can sit here, like, this perfect scenario. I can sit here and just turn, making beats, go play with him for 30 minutes, get back over here, make a beat, eat dinner, he go to bed, watch a movie, okay, come back over here 30 minutes, it's done. It could be broken down. That's the point I was making, because I don't want anybody to think you need to schedule 2 hours straight. Like, break it down sometimes.
Yeah, but you get it all done, so like I just think like that's cool. And you can see like all of his work on his channel too. So I'm gonna put all of his information in the link below and all of his music and everything like that. The last question was, what's your goals in music and in business for the future?
My goals in music, I do want to have more placements. I don't have a platinum plaque yet. I don't know this like where Try Me is. I know that went gold and stuff, so I have the plaque for that. But if that crosses over to platinum, I would love that. I really want a platinum plaque. I'm trying to think. Her album's supposed to come out this month. And aside from that, I just want to work with more people that I'm a fan of. Like, I'm a fan of your music. I just want to work and let the world hear it. It's nothing really to, like, some people are like, I want to get 50 placements next year and work in this studio. It's like, no, I just want to create, enjoy it, let the world hear it, make great music. But I do want the platinum plaque. I need that. That's one thing I need. I need the platinum plaque. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna get it. But for the business side of things, I just want to continue to grow, work on more. What am I trying to say? More. No, but thank you. I'm trying to work on trying to find the right words I'm looking for. Trying to grow, I guess I'll put it that way. Trying to grow with everything that I'm doing. I want the channel to grow. I want it to become more personal. That's why I kind of did the personal channel, but that was kind of like, I'm doing this here. I could be doing this on my main channel. I want to start just talking and helping more people. I want to help people on their way to reach their goals and things of that nature, like with the machine course. The reason why I put that out, it wasn't even really the money at first. I mean, it became a business now because it makes its money when like just rolls in on its own. But that really came from people asking me the same questions over and over, and I didn't want to do a session with them because it would get to a point where I'm repeating myself over and over and over and over and over and over. And I'm like, let me just put something together, check this out first, and then if you need a session, we can do it, because this will get you everything you need. Somebody will want, to know how to make a beat from setting up your machine to all the way to mixing in 30 minutes. I'm like, that's not going to happen. And even then, I've had people, I say something to them, they're like, yeah, bro, I don't remember none of the stuff you said. Can we get on the call again and you do this? I'm like, this ain't going to work. Let me just set something up for them. And
yeah.
Just want to be able to help people, and then over time grow the YouTube channel some more, turn that into a bigger business. I have some ideas I want to do, like a podcast and things of that nature.
Yes, please do more of that, because
I plan on doing it.
Yeah.
I plan on doing one with my fiance and one of my best friend. Plan on doing stuff with him too. So it's just a matter of getting it all together and making it make sense.
Yeah.
But, I just feel like that's more what it's about now with my channel. Like, I want to go on the side of being more the personality side of things, help people get advice. Like if I have a call-in show, call and ask me your questions. They don't have to be specifically about machine. It could be, I don't know if I should. No, that was about to be the wrong one because I had that. Somebody asked me, should they stop making beats because they didn't have anybody support them? But I guess that could be a question. It's like, no, you just get them the answer. Like, you continue if you feel like you want to do it. You know, stuff like that. It don't have to be like, oh, how do you do note repeat on machine? Can you do a video on that?
Right. So more so in depth, like more so in depth with just, like you said, inspiring, encouraging people.
Yep.
That would be
Just
cool.
being just something different. That's all. And that's why I feel like I slowed down on the channel because, like I told you, I got tired of the same beat making videos all the time. Like machine beat making video. I got tired of typing machine beat making video every time. So it's like just trying to grow.
But honestly, you really was one of the only ones doing that because like when I was searching for teachers, I didn't see many people teaching how to like make a beat. So like that, I mean, you could have just stuck to that and would have been just.
Oh no, I feel like I still could do it, but it's just for me personally. That's all.
Right, exactly.
I feel like everybody has their own lane, especially when it comes to the machine. You had the people that do electronic.
Yes.
You had the people that do house music. I guess it is kind of like electronic. You have the boom. That's what I'm about to get to. You got the boom bap, and then I feel like I fall somewhere in between boom bap, trap, just the hip hop area where people not really doing it like that.
Yeah. I wanted to make one more thing. I know I said we was gonna close it out, but I'm gonna close it out. Really
no, you good.
Okay. I just ain't running. I know it's like you know you got a child and everything, but so for this machine course, I wanted to talk about that too because I took the course and yeah, man, thank you for making it. I swear, like because like you said, like nobody teaches how to make. You're not gonna find it on YouTube. Nobody is gonna. I look like you show about leveling, just direction, and those like two things. Just like you teach about a little more than that, but those two things right there, it bossed me up so quick, like so fast to where I was like, oh, okay, like this is the level you should be at. It made me work faster too as well because I don't know. I didn't know anything about like mixing and stuff. I just knew I wanted my best.
I feel like that's because a lot of people try to, I feel like, overcomplicate a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, somebody's like, oh, if you don't spend 3 hours on the mix, you're not really mixing. Like, okay. What about, do you use this compressor? I'm like, somebody asked me today, like, do you do side chain compression? I'm like, I've never done it. Can I do it on the Machine Plus? And I said, I've never done it before, so I really can't tell you if you can do it on a Machine Plus.
So you said stuff the drums, like that. You just keep them like the drums that you buy personally, you keep them like that. So like you said, they don't even need all those extra effects. And that type of stuff can crash your CPU. But I thought that was cool. And I took the Timberland course, and I honestly feel like I learned more from your course than I did from his. I mean, his was different, but it was like, you know, I just learned a lot from that course. So
I've had somebody tell me that before. I think I had a couple people tell me that, like, somebody said it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. Like, they thought it was going to be more in depth when it was just like, I guess it was just, this is what I do this type thing. I guess, I don't know, but.
And he had somebody
I was excited about it.
Like, it was like he had a mixer and an engineer, so it was, I don't know, it wasn't like.
And that's another thing. Like, I try to tell some people, like, some people worry about the wrong things. Like, a lot of the times I have, like, it's a setup is a perfect example of this. I made the beat, sent it to Dave. I got a rough version back. I liked the rough version better than the version that came out, and that's because the engineer, I'm assuming, mixed it different. Like, it was some effects and stuff going. Like, her vocals used to be, she had some background vocals that were higher, and it sounded so good to me. But in the end, it got switched up. And that's not the first time it happened. I've had situations where with me and Hennessy, me and the producer of that, we sat down and, not the producer, me and the other producer of that, we redid the beats that had a sample and all that stuff. But anyway, we got Lil Wayne vocals, Dave Slow vocals, and we were mixing it over like Christmas. He's in, I forgot where he was. I think it was in St. Louis, maybe I don't know exactly where he was, but we going back and forth. We literally arranged the song how we felt like it was perfect. We put Lil Wayne's vocals flowing in here, her vocals there. It was just perfect. When that song came out, it was not like that at all. my point is, people, if you gonna give your beats to an artist, you can spend 50 days mixing it, and then they will go and change it.
Okay.
So just
Okay.
make it sound good. Don't be one of them people that's like, it needs to be this, like all that tedious stuff, unless you're doing it specifically for you. Now, if you're doing it specifically for you, you can do whatever you want. But when you think that you have to mix it a certain way to get a placement and stuff like that, just make it sound good, in my opinion.
That's real.
Don't worry about them. Everybody has their own. If everybody got their own lane, like I don't engineer. People be like, I want to get in the studio with you and you record me. I tell them no. I don't. I just don't have the patience for it. I can do it, but I don't have the patience for it. That's why they have engineers.
That's a
Go
whole.
find one of them. So it's the same thing with, do you mix and master? No, there are mastering engineers out there that specifically master. I'm not one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So people just worry about the wrong stuff, I feel like sometimes. My
Yeah.
role, I make beats, I put ideas together, I can make it sound good. And if I get to a point where I want to make sure it's perfect, I'm going to find somebody else to make it perfect.
That's dope. That's dope. And I appreciate you just sharing that. So I think I'm gonna just close it out and let you, get back to your machine and having fun with that. And I'm gonna
Oh,
go
no,
check
it's
out
all
some of
good. I appreciate this.
For sure. I'm so grateful. It's just always an honor just to talk to you and just to see somebody that's like living their life and doing what they love. It's just amazing to see. And I'm always in support of that. So thank you for coming to my first
I
episode, Creative
appreciate it. No
Wisdom. This is
problem.
legendary, bro. So yeah, so thank you so much and
Yep.
have a great rest of the year. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome. So